Regicide and rotation. Where do your loyalties lie now? So Prince John, Cindy, Rapunzel, and the various animal companions are rotating out of core, and that leaves us kind of with a big hole in the current meta list. And we got to kind of ask what happens next to our decks. So by this point in time, we know what rotation is. Set one, two, three, and four are leaving core, and they're rotating, I guess, into infinity. Um, Kind of the toy store is coming out into infinity and beyond. So that kind of leaves us with looking at one, maybe why is stuff rotating, but also what do we do now that stuff is rotating. A lot of the stuff that is not being reprinted that were staples were problem cards, and you can kind of see that in the fact that ever since they were printed, they were in the top meta decks and they never left them. Examples would be like Maui, Hero to All, or Madam and Fox. Just their power, their willpower. So I guess their strength, their willpower, what turn they came down on, and the fact that they're inkable just made them so unbelievably powerful and great answers for the decks that there was no reason to not put them in. And they also invalidated a huge amount of decks just from the beginning, which limits deck design and makes it so that it's always the top two or three decks who are always showing up in the top. Does this mean that they will never be reprinted? Probably not. They probably won't be reprinted as they currently stand, but you might see versions of them with slight tweaks to their stats. So their willpower, their strength, if they're inkable or not. So you might see versions of what we're talking about. It's just I highly doubt they'll be reprinted as they were. And you can kind of see that I guess they were problems, like I said, like the last couple years, nothing's really changed. And this is going to be one of our first real major shakeups to the meta of Lorcana and the competitive scene. So this will allow for new archetypes to enter. This might allow for new ink pairings to enter, and it's really going to be kind of the wild west of Lorcana. So let's take a look at what is leaving. Won't worry about the exact ins and outs of how the decks change, as we're probably going to have to do many weeks of testing to see what that looks like. But let's look at what's leaving first and how the various, how it's going to affect things. So first off, we have in Amber, we have Ariel Spectacular Singer. So she's a fantastic card. And then that's the problem. She made Steel Song exceptionally consistent. I mean, just the fact that she came in and she would get you a card. And I know I did a lot of complaining that she never got me cards, but she did get cards for me and she got cards for everybody else. Grabbing a song in a Steel Song deck just made it so that like you could make all of your game plays exactly as you wanted them. You could get that extra card, you could push forward your tempo, and with a lot of Steel Song's removal or Whole New World, you could pretty much just get rid of your opponent's tempo right off the bat there. Do I see them bringing Ariel back? Not, like I said, not as she is. Singer 5, totally see Singer 5 at 3 coming back. Totally see something coming back that gets you songs. It's just her as she's currently packaged right now, I don't see being reprinted. Next one we have is Rapunzel Gifted with Healing. So I'm sad to see Rapunzel go. I'm not shocked to see Rapunzel go, but I am sad. I love her. I think she's great. She's one of my favorite cards. She's key to Amber's game plan, which is healing and getting benefits off of healing. But as it is, she's way too powerful. The problem with Rapunzel was getting the 3 cards and healing the 3 damage from a character with really no downside on your part there. Um, she's a powerhouse, and you can see that they've already made some attempts to reprint fixed versions of her with Julietta, who just draws you 1, and that seems to be a lot more balanced than Rapunzel is. So sad to see her go. Not shocked. Cinderella Ballroom Sensation. Love Cindy. I'm not shocked Cindy's being reprinted, especially not with their current set list that's out. She was a staple in Steel Song. The fact that she could sing you your turn 3 removals on turn 2 made her just an amazing powerhouse. Um, she she's not super broken on her own, but she is kind of broken with with the steel package that was there. But she did help keep things in check, which is great. Um, I think that we will see more turn 1 singers again. It's just right now we don't necessarily need her, especially not with the lack of turn 3 songs that are out there that seem to be playable. Madam Mim Fox, super shocked to see her go. Like I said at the beginning, she was a problem. The bounce is fantastic. You return things to your hand. The fact that she is a 4/3 meant that at turn 3, she was taking out whatever your opponent was playing and probably sticking around herself. And in a bounce deck, it meant that she could go right back to your hand and kind of do it again. And hey, the rush, obviously. So Madam Mim is a problem card. She made it so that every deck had to be made with her in mind. And by that, I don't necessarily mean how do we kill Madam Mim. I mean, how do we survive Madam Mim? So a lot of cards that were really cool and interesting to come down on turn 2, 3, 4, all of a sudden couldn't be played in top decks because they were just going to be taken out by Mim the first turn they're out, and you wouldn't get anything off of them. So not shocked to see Mim go. Not sad to see Mim go. Merlin Goat. So Goat is a great card. The enters and leaves play ability of gaining lore is awesome. I don't think Goat was as big of a problem as say Fox, but they are kind of design space wise. Moving away from enters and leaves play abilities and just kind of either doing like the enters play or the leaves play, one or the other. And so I think that that is kind of one of the problems with Goat. He did have great stats. He is inkable, and the fact that he gained you at least 2 lore did make him a little bit on the more powerful side, especially when they're getting away from the enters and leaves play triggers. Last one that I have for Amethyst is Friends on the other side. So I was a little bit shocked originally to see Friends go. Friends is in the card draw color. It just draws you 2. It's a very playable song. But kind of re-looking at it, I guess it's not as shocking as I thought. Looking at kind of what they're designing right now, Amethyst is the card draw color, but they are attaching the card draw to other things like just simply actions or the downfall of gaining your opponent cards as well, or on enters play abilities for characters. So I can see a card like Friends coming back, a singable song, but at 3 inkable and draws you 2 cards, probably a little bit on the too powerful side for what the current design space shows. Okay, this one shocks everyone. I am sure the bird is dead. The bird is gone. The prince and the bird are dead together. I am so sad. Everyone who played against this card hated it. And I would argue the people who played it did hate it somewhere deep down inside them too. If they didn't, they should relook at their way they want to play with their friends. It was a staple and a defining card in the meta. It is a fantastic card draw engine, and you could tell that it was a little bit on the too powerful side because almost every card deck that was playing in competitive needed to be designed specifically with an answer for the bird. The fact that every time your opponent draws a card, you draw a card just gave you so many answers in your hand, and by the time you have like even 3 or 4 more cards than your opponent, it's really hard for your for the opponent to kind of push their game past you. You have everything that you need. So not shocked to see the bird gone. Following up with that, the super shocking the prince is dead. I'm not sad to see him go. Goodbye. Die Prince John. He was really, really good card draw engine for something that just felt so bad and punishing on your opponent's end, which was forcing them to discard. He big problem. I mean, 1/2 is not that big of a deal. He's uninkable, so like looking at his stats, he's not that bad. But the fact that he is ward made him so that as soon as he entered play, there was nothing you could do about him. Especially not if you weren't playing like sweeper effects. So that was really the big problem with Prince John. Could I see something like him coming back? Sure. I just think that the ward would need to go away so that your opponent could actually get rid of him. We're switching to Ruby now. So Big Sisu, this was kind of like informed of pretty early on that she wasn't coming back, or at least it seemed like it was. Big Sisu is a bit of a problem, mostly because of the the one-sided sweeper effect that is on her and her 5/4 quest for 3 stats. It was just a very, very powerful card. Now I know that she's 8 and uninkable, so she's expensive and she can't be used for ink if she gets stuck in your hand. But still, that one-sided sweeper, and then the fact that you can quest with her without punishment for the next couple turns, did make her a little bit too powerful. The fact that she just invalidated an entire deck strategy on her own, which was aggro, also kind of points to that little bit too powerful for what they're currently designing. Maui is the next one. So Maui, I'm not super shocked to see go either. I mean, he could have stayed. He could have. He could have gone. Could have gone either way with Maui. 5/6 is a very, very good stat line. He can't quest, so that's something. He's got rush. So yeah, I mean either. I could have seen Maui leave. I could have seen Maui come back. I could totally see somebody like Maui coming back with a slightly adjusted stat line. I'm realizing now I have to put in be prepared because I forgot be prepared. So here's the be prepared script. So at first I wasn't surprised to see that be prepared wasn't being reprinted. Most card games need a sweeper of some effect, but like looking at what is being reprinted, there are still sweepers. It's just not in Ruby anymore. And they did say in their design space they didn't want Ruby to be kind of like the board sweepers. They want to be single target removal. So we're moving towards kind of the sweeper effects more in Emerald, it seems, especially with like Under the Sea. So the actions deck I don't see dying. I see just moving away from Sapphire and more into Emerald. Next we have Popsicle. So Popsicle, at first, I can't believe that this card is leaving. I still am kind of a little bit shocked. To me, it could go either way. I mean, it draws you a card and it's attached to an item, which seems to match up with what Sapphire wants to do. It removes damage, so I mean, like, and again, it removes 2 damage. It never felt that kind of overpowered to me. But in I guess in their design space there, it did need to go. So we'll probably see more cards like this printed. I could see upping the rarity from common. Doesn't feel like a common to me. It feels like it should be a little bit higher than that. Or maybe we'll see it costing more. We do have more items in standard that do draw you cards, so they're clearly not moving away from that. It's just this one probably was a little bit too powerful for early game. Fishbone Quill, I don't think there's much to be said about Fishbone Quill. It is ramp in the ramp colors, but there's better ramp now. So I don't think that there was a need to reprint it because there's better options. McDuck Manor is also one in Sapphire that's going that will affect the Ruby Sapphire deck, and I think move it more towards Emerald. This was kind of the finish line crosser for it. Once you played Be Prepared, you had this out, and you could gain the last little bits of lore to win you the game. 9 willpower is pretty solid, but if you look at other cards that are not being reprinted location-wise, like Queen's Castle, the powerful locations seem to be leaving play. Last color we have with Steel. So Whole New World we've known for a while. Whole New World isn't coming back. Steel Song, this was a solid Steel Song card for a very long time. Reset your hand, but also reset your opponent's hand. There's just kind of better ways to draw cards in Steel now. And I'm not super shocked to see this one go. I mean, yeah, they've already reprinted fixes for it, like Beyond the Horizons and whatnot, and Doc. Let the Storm Rage on. So this card makes me sad that it's leaving because I love this card, but it's not a shock. Just like a lot of the other cards that we're talking about, this card did kind of define the meta. A lot of other decks that would be playing would need to bear in mind that if they played a character with a willpower of 2 and you're playing against Steel Song, it might just be removed right away, which will kill your tempo and it pretty much stops you as of turn 2. It's a great card. It also draws you a card, so I'm not shocked to see this one going. However, for his life in core, it did a really good job at keeping Diablo and Flynn in check, which did allow for at least a third or fourth deck to enter the meta. Otherwise, Diablo and Flynn would have run away with it. Last removal card for Steel. So Steel is losing most of its removal. It makes me think that they're going to go a different direction with the ink, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I think going to the kind of challenging with characters is great. For this one's life in core, it was a 5 damage spell, which was the sweet spot for, or song, I guess, which was the sweet spot for most characters. It did take out all the problem characters. However, it sticking around would mean that most of the good characters that are kind of like your finisher characters are 5 willpower or below, and you could just hold it until your opponent plays what they need to win the game, and then remove it and stop their gameplay. It does limit deck design, so I can see why it is not being reprinted. So those are kind of the major things about what is being reprinted, what is what is staying. Like I said, I'm not super shocked to see a lot of these go. I'm really excited for what comes next. Ravensburger has said that they're going to support Infinity, which means that all these cards will show up in Infinity. I'm sure almost the exact deck list for the first little bit will show up in Infinity as they are right now. So we'll be able to enjoy our current version of Standard just in a different format. And I'm really excited for things to shake up. I'll do another video about exactly how the decks are affected by these leaving. But for now, I am really excited about new decks, specifically racers or madrigals or puppies. They're still not going to work, but I'm excited about it. And I'm excited about what is to come.